Europhonica is live today from the European Parliament of Strasbourg as the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021, directly from the Megalizzi Orent radio studios.
Young people from all over Europe will join us for a live broadcast that you can't miss.
Don't forget to follow Europhonica on the official website raduni.org, on the European Parliament web streaming, and on our social media
to stay updated about all the events of the European Youth Event 2021.
Our Instagram, Twitter and Facebook accounts are all called Europhonica.
We are RadUni, the Association of Italian College Radio. Born in 2006, in RadUni there are more than 30 college radios. This is Europhonica, the format of European radios. Europhonica born in 2014, and every month members of college radio come to the European Parliament to do radio activities in the Antonio Megalizzi and Bartosz Orent studios. This is the live show for European Youth Event 2021. You are now listening the beginning of our show with the voice of Marco Napoleoni, Alice Plata, Fourat Bahri and Alessandra Carraro. Enjoy our 3 hours and 30 minutes radio marathon, in which we will be discussing about European policies with 26 members of RadUni and Europhonica and more than 40 guests from all over Europe.
Perhaps now, Fourat, you can tell us your experience. You're a non-European citizen, but you're leaving the European Union from very close. So what is the difference between the things you do in your country and the things you can do here in the European Union?
Well, actually, the most important thing for me of being in Europe is that you can, for example, study in Italy, you can have a stage in Germany, you can have like 6 months internship in another country, and that's so important for me because I am very open to know many cultures and to know many people from different countries actually.
I'm very proud because Fourat is my student in Novara, is a radio student too. Then he come with us here in this big opportunity to meet Europe. Then I have a question to you, Fourat. How you feel the European Parliament? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like the building first of all. I like everything about it. It's like amazing. It's my first time, my second day here, so I got used more to it. But it's like something so much glorious. And
it is Strasbourg is the place more northern you find. It's nice. It's very interesting, but England is more north than Strasbourg.
No, Strasbourg is beautiful, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a special place. It's calming. That's the one. It's calming.
And he represents the Europe Union very, very good because it's a place for a crossing culture, crossing language. People from French and German before us, but now all the citizens of Europe cross Strasbourg. I think Strasbourg is the real capital city of the Europe and is in the heart of Europe. True.
It certainly is a European city indeed. Guys, I have a question for you both. Do you feel involved by the European Union? I mean, do you feel involved in the decision-making processes? Do you feel consulted? Do you think you have a space where you can say what you think?
Well, actually, feel involved in the European life, yeah. But feel involved in the European Parliament, actually not so much. I am involved in the radio activities, but in the decision-making, I don't think so.
What about you, Eddie?
I think I'll speak prior to Brexit first. And I would say not really, but maybe that wasn't the direction I wanted to pursue, as I enjoy the diplomatic space better, so less political. So not really, but could have been better in the sense with the UK being kind of on an island, it could have been better to kind of push more programs that bring young people into the European Parliament. That might have helped. But like I said, young people voted to stay anyway, so it doesn't really matter to that sense. I hope we can find a way to build bridges maybe via Erasmus Plus or something like this. If it's still, I believe it still lives in an interesting format with the UK. So I think UK will still have a voice somehow via partners.
But I know, Hedy, you are a dancer, you are an artist, and you have a radio show too in England, and you talk about culture and artist work. Then this is a good way to connect to Europe, for be connected to the Europe. And what you present your work in the radio in England?
So I'm a dance artist, so I make choreography, I make theatre, and I've loved working with European artists in my time as a maker. I spent a lot of time in Portugal working with Inês Brito and so on. And my radio show is on Unity Radio in Manchester at Media City, which is a show that really just opens the discussion on dance. Yesterday here at I was engaging with the conversation of how to translate science in theatre or so on, which is quite interesting.
It is actually. Fourat, what about you? Do you actually do some radio in Novara? What do you like speaking about?
I speak with Alice and David about different topics. We speak about everything. We speak
more cultural part. We talk about culture and we exchange our
music.
Point of vision about music and poets, and so between two different countries, Italy and Tunisia. It's very interesting. We have many points in common.
Do you think it's difficult to tell the European Union?
No, not much.
To tell about what happens, to tell about what it does? What do you think, Eddie?
I think the word union is self kind of tells what it's about in terms of European and union. So it's the detailing of it is complex, as it should be, because it's a very powerful tool. But what it does is the unification of Europe.
So it's time to say thank you to our guests. Thank you, Fourat.
Thank you, everyone. Here. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you also, Alice and Alessandra.
Thank you, Marco.
Now it's time to music. We have to listen. We are joined to listen the Maneskin, the winners of the Eurovision Song Contest.
I was there.
another contest that give us the opportunity to feeling it and be European. So we are now listening one of the best song I think of Maneskin. We are listening Maneskin Zitti e Buoni.
Zitti e Buoni.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
¿Vas a graduarte en una universidad de la Unión Europea y tu tesis de grado tendrá como objeto el tema de la radio y/o de los medios de comunicación universitarios y de comunidad? RadUni ha instituido un premio de graduación en memoria de Antonio Megalizzi y Bartosz Orent-Niedzielski. Puedes encontrar cualquier información y el anuncio de participación traducido en 24 idiomas gracias a la cooperación con el canal audio del Parlamento Europeo en el sitio www.raduni.org.
You are now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Hi to everyone! Welcome back to Europhonica, the international university radio format. I'm Simone Pavesi. I'm excited to be here with you, and I'm with my colleague Daniela Floris. Hi Daniela!
Hi everyone, and thank you Simone, and welcome again, and welcome for the amazing guests, Francisco, Silvia, and Sophie. Would you guys like to give us a quick introduction about yourself? Go ahead, Francisco.
Hello, I'm Francisco Paupério, I'm from Portugal, I'm 26 years old, I am a biologist, I'm currently doing my PhD in integrative biology, working with bacteria.
Wonderful!
Silvia.
Hi, I'm Silvia and I'm from Italy and I follow Europhonica. I'm a great fan, so I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much. And Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie, I'm 25, I'm French-German. I'm very happy to be here and be part of this I 2021.
Perfect! We have just spoken about the meaning of being a European citizen, but now we look out of our borders.
Yeah, in an increasingly polarized world, inequality is on the rise. According to the World Bank, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, about 150 million more people will live in poverty by the end of 2021.
Yes, Daniela, and together the EU institutions and the member states are the world's leading donor of development, assistance and cooperation. Responding to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, EU institutions work together and provide funding to address the following 5 aspects: people, planet, prosperity, peace and partnership. The EU cooperates with the 150 partner countries in Africa, Latin America and the Caribbean, Asia and the Pacific. In addition to providing financial aid and engaging in dialogues with the partner countries, the EU also conducts research and evaluation to ensure that the aid is used effectively.
So guys, we have some questions for you. In which fields or topics should the European Union strengthen its international cooperation programs? In which world areas and why? Francisco, would you like to start?
I have to start with sustainability. I feel Europe has given some steps towards sustainability, but we need to do more, and we need to strengthen our relationships with other countries, especially China, India, that are now starting to get more developed and committing the same mistakes we did, and we need to guide them in order for them to not making the same mistakes as we did without compromising their development. How can we do that? That's a very complex topic, of course. I'm favorable to carbon tax and to reduce the incentives for fossil fuels production, for example.
Those are very good points. Silvia, would you like to say yours?
I agree with Francisco in reality. So I don't have to add anything about that because he said everything. So it was a good point, like you said.
And Sophie?
I agree. I think also that the Green Deal that was just proposed with the Just Transition Fund and everything is a good step, but it's not enough. And I think another point is also transparency. I think it's very important that we communicate inside of Europe more and share these values to go against this rise of Euroscepticism.
But about the areas of the world, Europe's strengthen its effort where? In which areas of the world? Francisco.
Which areas do Europe should invest more? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of sustainability, I would say China and India.
Okay.
Because they're more populated, so they need more help, I would say.
Okay. Also for you, Sophie?
I think actually less in the world and more in you again.
Okay. Okay. Another question for you. What do you think about the relations that the EU has with countries that violate human rights like Russia and China?
In the question before, I was doubting between saying human rights and sustainability. So Europe should do a lot more in terms of human rights. Not like the US, where they try to invade and try to establish their own principles for human rights, but try to educate them and provide our vision of human rights and try to help them in that transition, because there needs to be a transition. It can't be so fast because there is a cultural environment that we cannot change so fast. So I think the goal of Europe is to guide other countries and not impose our vision of the world, because cultural diversity is one of the best things we have in this planet, and we don't want to break that.
Okay, it is an interesting point. For you, Silvia?
Yeah, come on. He said everything before me. It's unfair. No, I agree with Francisco, and I think the same. So
Perfect.
I passed.
Sophie?
No, so I agree. So I would add that actually, yes, it's important that the EU is a role model in the world, and we should, in the EU again, preserve these human rights. And this is why it's so important now to check them and be aware of them.
So our follow-up question would be about, some of you already answered. So you guys think that the EU is a model for the rest of the world? Well, Sophie just said yes. But what about you guys?
Yes, I would say definitely it's a model, not a complete one and perfect one, but it's a model. And we should also work in ourselves, in improving our model, so then others can also be inspired.
Yeah, it's a great model of collaboration with some imperfection, like everything. So it could be better, and maybe it would be.
Okay. Sophie, do you want to add something about this?
Yes, I would just add that we achieved already a lot. So I think we should also be proud, but there is still a lot of work to do.
Okay, perfect. Another question. What do you think that poverty is?
Poverty. It's a hard question. For me, it's also about happiness. So it's not only about direct contact with food and lack of it, but also about how you feel in a specific country, in a specific community. And sometimes we are probably one of the most economic or strong economic zone, but sometimes we have that type of poverty. We don't have happiness, we don't have quality of life in some areas. We can also do that in Europe and not in other parts of the world.
Okay. You come from Portugal, right?
Yes.
Okay, and do you think that in Portugal there is poverty?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And we see it every day. We see by homeless people, we see by communities that are not getting included in the society. There is a lot of poverty.
And if I could weigh in very quickly, do you think that there is more poverty as an outcome of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, definitely. And also that leads to the inequality between men and women, because most of the gender that was affected was the women, not the male. So I would say yes, it contributes also for to not have equal rights and equal opportunities also, but also increased the levels of poverty overall.
Great. And Sophie, what about you? Where do you live actually?
So, good question. I'm French-German, but now I was in Brussels. I moved to Germany, and I will probably go back to France, so I'm a bit everywhere.
So the question would be the same for you. Have you seen like inequality and poverty rising as an outcome of the pandemic, or you think that the levels stay as before?
I think unfortunately poverty is everywhere in different forms, and it depends on the context, and I mean in Brussels, for example, I was really surprised how many homeless are everywhere, and I'm also surprised that the issue is not tackled.
Okay, and what can we do to reduce poverty in the world?
I'm not from management, but I would say it's a management problem, because we have everything to tackle that. And if we can't find solutions, it's because we are not thinking enough, or we're not looking at that, because we fixed COVID in a matter of years. So we can fix poverty also, right? So it's a matter of looking into that and put the right minds thinking into that problem. And I'm sure we'll find a solution.
Okay, thanks, Francisco. Sophie?
I think we can tackle the issue from the individual stage. For poverty, for example, for the students, I think like to go there are little things everyone can do, or we can try to help.
Okay, Silvia, what do you think about this? Your contribute to reduce poverty.
My contribute to reduce poverty. Oh my God, it's hard. I don't know, because I'm not an expert in this on this topic. But I think that there isn't equality in Italy, and I think that will be so much work for reduce that. But I don't know how. I don't know really how to do that.
Well, yes, Silvia, you are absolutely right. I agree with you. It is a very complex issue that involves, policies, financial institutions, civil society, and all of these topics and fields are intertwined with each other. This is why, as Simone mentioned before, the European Union is strengthening its program modeled around the UN SDGs, the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And thank you very much, everyone. It was great to have you here. I know this is a very tough conversation to have at 10:15 in the morning, but we really appreciated that.
Thanks to all our listeners, stay tuned. Thanks to our guest. And now it's time for Sevdaliza Human.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Are you graduating from one of the European Union universities with a thesis regarding college and university radio, and/or more in general, college, university, or community media? RadUni has established a degree award in memory of Antonio Megalizzi and Bartosza Rennezielski. All the information and the call for participation available in 24 languages thanks to our collaboration with the audio and podcast unit of the European Parliament are online at www.raduni.org at the dedicated section.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Welcome back. This is Europhonica. We are broadcasting from the European Parliament in Strasbourg. I am Martina. I'm with Matilde here.
Hi, welcome back.
Good morning to everyone. And we have some guests today. We are going to talk about sustainability, and we want to share our opinion about what the European Union is doing on this topic. So, guys, introduce yourself.
Well, guys, thank you for having us, first of all. We're a group from Germany, and we're here to talk about sustainability today. Should we start with some position of ours, or...?
Just introduce yourself. Say your name.
Perfect. My name is Felix.
Where are you from, Felix?
I'm from Germany. I live in Germany now. I lived in Stuttgart. Now I live in the north of Germany, near Hamburg.
Okay. What about you guys?
So, my name is Viola. I'm from Germany too, and I live near Frankfurt. And yeah, I'm here with Felix and Helena.
Hi everyone, my name is Helena. I'm from Stuttgart, Germany too, and we are a delegation from the Young Liberals in Germany, and that's why we're here.
Very cool, guys. Congratulations.
So I already know that you know everything. But I'm going to talk about a bit because we know that the European Union has put sustainability in the center of its policy, and the goal is to create a coherent policies in economy, in industrial energy, in environmental and nature policies. Okay, they want to be create a circular economy, so transform the traditional economy, and so that we can become more sustainable for the future and leave us and the future generation a world that is worth living in. We would like to know what you know about what the European Union is doing, and what is your opinion? Do you think it's enough or it's not? Because some people believe that the climate crisis and that is already late. So whatever we are going to do, it's not going to be enough. What is your opinion on this? Please.
Okay, sure. I think definitely more has to be done. The only thing is how it should be done. Currently, we are seeing that many countries are going different paths on climate change, and some countries are seeing it as very relevant. Some countries are seeing it as not as relevant. And I think as a European Union, we all have to be in one boat. We all have to concentrate on the same goal, and we have to have similar and certain goals that all bring us to the goal that we put as the European Union. Our goal should be that all countries in the EU have minimum standards and minimum requirements for climate change, because big companies from Western Europe go to Eastern Europe because in Eastern Europe there are less climate requirements. So we all in Europe have to go in the same boat and have to have the same standard minimum requirements, so we can all get through this together.
Yeah, you're right. And I would like to know, what do you think, Helena? Do you agree with him?
Yeah, sure, I absolutely agree with him. We want to be climate neutral until 2050. And there are only more or less 30 years left to transform our industry into sustainability and climate neutrality. And I think one of the most important measures for that would be the EU trade with certificates, to include all sectors in this trade with this certificates, because it's a way to combine common wealth and industry with sustainability, and that's the chance for our future, I think, and the biggest problem of our time, but at the same time it's a chance.
Yep.
And we have to transform in more or less 30 years our industry, and I think it's the trade with the certificates that can help us.
And I definitely don't think the climate change should be seen as a problem. We should see it as a chance to all evolve and to evolve into a more sustainable future with more green energies and a more sustainable future. And I think that's very important, that we all see this as a chance for innovation and for young brains creating new ideas, so we can all have a better future.
And as the EU, we can show the world how to do this transformation process. We could be a leader in the whole world.
Yeah, definitely, because the EU is, compared to other parts of the world, we have definitely been tackling the climate crisis very differently and very more radical than the other parts of the world, which is good. We have to go up front as a good example. The other parts of the world have to see, okay, the EU is doing a good job, this is a great idea, let's do it this way too.
Yeah, I can agree with you both. That's just what I think. We got a great chance, and it's not a problem for the nations, but for all of us. And I think we just have to get started. There's no black and white. We just need to do something, and I think everybody can start with it.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Everybody can do something for us, for the world, for the planet in general, and to fight climate change. What do you think we should do in everyday life?
Yeah, I think you just have to be conscious about it, and I think there are a lot of small tasks you can integrate in your daily life. There are lots of, so just get started, I guess.
For example, like reducing rubbish, or taking the bus or the train instead of the car, and think twice if you have to book this flight now. There are little things that everyone can do, but I think that those things, they won't be enough for getting this climate crisis.
Yes, we have to change how we live.
Exactly.
In every way. Mm-hmm. In every part of our life, we have to change everything to succeed. But if it's not enough, this thought is scary to me, because I saw a projection of the future made by some scientists in Italy, and they said that by 2050, if we don't do enough, there is going to be no water. No
clean water. I saw that too. It's crazy.
It's scary. It's terrible. It's terrifying.
Yes.
But I believe that we can do something every day. We can do our part, because you have to start somewhere, and you have to start from your home, from how you behave every day. All right. And but sometimes it's a bit overwhelming to me, the thought that. We are going not to have water anymore.
We have to reduce our lifestyle.
Yes. I imagine migrations, mass migration to the north, because in the south there is no more water, and we have to do a lot more that we are doing right now.
We have seen the first climate refugees. If you look to Southeast Asia or to Oceania, many small islands with a low height from the water, they're potentially going underwater in the next years, which is a big threat. And to stop this happening, first of all in Oceania to small islands, but second of all in southern countries with not much water, we have to definitely combat it, because people will have to come up to Europe potentially.
Yes, and the climate refugee is not today. It's not a recognized situation because international law doesn't say anything about climate refugees.
Yeah.
So it's not like a war refugees or something else.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that it's not their fault. They have been living their life comfortably, and it's not their fault that the climate change is going up so much, and they have to pay the price for the things that the North does. That's a problem.
Yeah, and I think also that there is a lot of victim blaming. Like we consumers are very victimized, but at the same time there are very rich people and big industries that do the worst of the planet.
Big companies, yeah, definitely.
So guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We enjoyed our time so much, and would you like to say something to say goodbye and to, for example, to
send a message to the world?
Yes, and for the AI program in general.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for having us, first of all. It was great being here, and my message to the world is keep fighting. We got this, and if we're all in this together, we'll fight the climate crisis positively.
Thank you.
Yeah, stay optimistic. We got this.
Yeah, and work together as a team. I think that's really important.
Yeah, it's very
We are one world.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Matilde.
Thank you, Martina.
And now we're going to continue our program, our show. So keep listening to us. We're going to be broadcasting since 1 o'clock today. So keep going. Europhonica is on. And thank you, everyone. Now we're going to leave the microphone to the next team.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Stehen Sie kurz vor dem Abschluss in einer der Universitäten der Europäischen Union? Geht Ihre Abschlussarbeit um Universitätsgesellschaftsmedienkommunikation? RadUni hat einen Abschlusspreis in Erinnerung an Antonio Megalizzi und Bartosz Henri gerufen. Alle Informationen und den Teilnahmeantrag, die in 24 Sprachen vom Audio- und Podcast-Unit des Europäischen Parlaments zur Verfügung gestellt wurde, finden Sie auf der bestimmten Seite unserer Website www.raduni.org.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Hello everybody, we come back for Europhonica from the studio of the European Parliament here in Strasbourg. This time is my turn. I'm Alessandro and I'm here with Nadiya. Hi Nadiya.
Hi Alessandro. Yes, I am Nadiya. I'm from Italy, but I was born in Ukraine. I study law in Milan, and in these 10 minutes we will talk about job opportunities in the European Union, and we are not alone. Today we have 3 guests, and welcome. Please introduce yourself and talk about yourself, what you're doing in your life, where are you from?
Well, hello, my name is Isabel Otero Barderas. I come from Spain, but I live in Brussels. I'm 27 years old, and I am currently working as an intérimaire at the European Commission.
Hello everyone, my name is Ola Shenkarenko. I come from Ukraine, and I'm a student currently in my last year doing my master's degree, and I am excited to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed, originally from Yemen, but I moved and I settled in Ukraine. I am a doctor, a dermatologist to be exact, and I love this opportunity that we are getting in the European Parliament actually, and I'm quite excited about it.
Okay, all interesting things, almost all the experience in the European Commission in Brussels, the Spanish guest, special guest guys, all the interesting studying path for an education, but I ask you, have you ever done the Erasmus? Do you know it, of course?
Well, indeed, yes. I did my Erasmus when I was on the 3rd year of my degree. I studied translation and interpreting first, so I went to Wales, to Swansea. so when the UK was still in Europe. And I did a year there, and for me it was one of the most interesting times of my life. I got to meet many people, and that's when I knew that I really liked international relations and international arena.
I heard about Erasmus many times. Unfortunately, I did not get an opportunity to participate, but I have many friends that took advantage of this opportunity, and they studied in different parts of Europe, and all of them said that it was an amazing experience that allowed them to meet new people, and yeah.
Don't worry, me neither. I never participated to the Erasmus program. And you?
And the same matter. Actually, like I finished my high school in Saudi Arabia, and since ever, I always wanted to study abroad, and that's when I started searching and monitoring until I found the opportunity in Ukraine, and that's how my new life story started when I moved to Ukraine at the end of 2010 and started studying medicine in English medium, that is my second language, until I was done with it in 2017, and then I started working as a practicing doctor, and of course for that we need the Russian language, as that it was in the east of Ukraine, and that is my third language. So of course it's quite interesting, the journey you get as a student, and it never stops, like it always continues.
Okay, guys, I have a question for you. Do you know the year when the Erasmus program started?
Nobody. Just try. Choose one, choose two, choose three.
I know it was in the 80s, I think.
80 year, okay,
yes,
we're almost there.
It was in 1980. 80?
7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And as you already know, this program supports the mobility of young people. Erasmus Plus supports not only education but also sport and traineeships, and the funds go to 3 different types of activities: volunteering, student exchanges, and jobs-focused training. This opportunity is available also for socially disadvantaged people. So, to conclude, I would like to add that the unemployment rate of young people who studied or trained abroad is 20% lower than that of those who didn't. So it's a very important information.
Yeah, 20% is a very high percentage if you consider the total percentage, you know, isn't it? But why are we asking this to you? Because you know that to build up a great future in a European Union and an open Europe, so outside our boundaries abroad, it's important, not necessary, but it's important to have an international education, no, isn't it? Don't you agree? Yeah. But so why are we asking you this? We are now passing to the EU careers, the possibility to work, to have a job, to have a little employment outside our borders, so in the European Union. Can you tell us something interesting about EPSO, the platform? EPSO is an office. So, in order to aim to a European career, it's essential to achieve some experience abroad. And there are a lot of websites and mobile apps that contains the job opportunities. One of them is EPSO. EPSO is the European Personnel Selection Office, and this office matches the aspiring applicants and the EU institutions. So the interesting thing is that tests are carried out in all 24 languages, and and I have another question for you. And have you ever considered volunteering in the European Union? Yes, maybe, no.
Well, volunteering per se, like with the European institutions, you mean, or on ourselves?
Also, ourselves. Thanks also to a European,
Yeah, well, in my case, I was a volunteer with the European Parliament back when the 2019 elections took place. So I was in the This Time I'm Voting volunteering opportunity. And then we created out of that an association in Spain that it's called Equipo Europa, which is a European youth association. And we work closely with the European Parliament. So volunteering on that for some hours now, it has led to having opportunities like not employment, but we form people, we train people, we get people opportunities in Spain and outside, thanks to that, through that association. So I really encourage everyone to join something if they can.
When we talk about European volunteering, it keeps in my mind the European Solidarity Corps. Have you ever heard about that? It's an experience of volunteering, as we said, but it's paid because, as you know, the cost of life is high outside throughout all Europe, I think. Volunteering out of our country in a European institution for people to from 17 years old to 30 years old. So maybe it could be an interesting opportunity for all our listeners, don't you think, guys?
Definitely.
Most definitely. And I think that as that in Ukraine during the university life, like there was some extracurricular activities, and volunteering. It's very interesting how that the majority of those who are participating in it are the youth, and that's why we're having this opportunity actually now with the European Youth event. It's very strong when you have all this kind of energy from the youth trying to make a change in the situation or in the reality that we are going through, and it's of course quite interesting one, especially that we see like in Kharkiv in Ukraine, we had this opportunity with the planting of trees to have green Ukraine, but the opportunities of cleaning the lakes, and it was all led not through an organizational level, but even like just like some normal university students gathered and they just called for it and everyone was participating. Of course, very interesting as that you mentioned there's an organization for this matter that they can really hold and push for something like this.
Yeah. I have a question for the Ukrainian guests. As we know, Ukraine is not part of the European Union. So why did you come to our event?
I think I can answer this question. Well, as Ukraine is not yet in the EU, but we are heading towards it, and I think this is very important for Ukrainian youth to participate in such events, because youth shapes the world, youth shapes Europe, and being here and exchanging contacts with people and experience in this atmosphere, something that I can pass on to my friends, to get this spirit and to bring changes to Ukraine so that we can join the EU.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. And plus, I can say, so we just saw that there was an opportunity of this great event, like on the European level, taking place, and then we just participated. We applied with a FEMISO organization, and we had the chance actually to come here, and we see that there are a lot of very important activities and opportunities taking place. For example, currently we are at the radio studio, and this is something actually new for me, and I think that's new for a couple of others, and it's quite interesting really to have such enthusiastic opportunity. So we are really excited, and Ukraine, yes, it's on its way. It might take some time, but to reach the EU, but eventually it will, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all an interesting thing. We wish it could be useful for our guests and for all of us who are listening us now on this live streaming from the European Parliament of Strasbourg, the radio studios. Let's remember it another time, because I think it's a great thing. It's important. I just wanted to thank you guys. Thank you everybody for having come here, for your questions, for your speeches, for this little debate. It's been very useful according to me. Thank you, Nadiya. Thank you, Ahmed. European Commission. I'm sorry, but what are we talking about?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Alessandro.
Okay, that's perfect. And now, just a bit music. Let's go, guys. See ya.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament of Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Europhonica from Strasbourg for the European Youth Event. It's 11 o'clock. Keep joining us.
Vous êtes sur le point d'obtenir votre diplôme d'une université européenne et votre thèse portera sur la radio et ou les médias universitaires et communautaires. RadUni a créé un prix de diplôme à la mémoire d'Antonio Megalizzi et de Bartosz Orent-Niedzielski. Toutes les informations et l'annonce en 24 langues traduites par l'unité audio et podcast du Parlement européen sont disponibles sur notre site www.raduni.org sur la page dédiée.
Europhonica from Strasbourg European Youth Event. I'm Davide Boris, the Vice President of RadUni, and I'm here with guest and colleague from the radio, of College Radio of Italy, and a guest from Denmark. But we can start with the main lead we have with us, Fourat. How are you, Fourat?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you, everyone? Okay, today we will be talking about the digitalization of Europe and how it can help us to make our life easier and to make us more efficient in terms of time and resources.
We have Silvia Frattini, our communication master in RadUni. How are you, Silvia? Fine?
Hi guys, I'm fine, and this is fun because the beginning was very interesting because Sophie is not from Denmark.
But this is only my gaff that I don't remember name and the countries from people. But Sophie, you are our guest and you can present to each other how are you and where you come from.
No worries, thank you very much. So I'm Sophie, I'm French-German, and yes, I'm traveling a bit around, so now my last day was in Heidelberg in Germany.
And with us there is another guest that is from Italy, from RadUni, but don't live in Italy, she's in Brussels. How are you, Daniela?
I'm great, thank you for having me here today.
Fourat, we can start speaking about the topics of this live show, and you can tell us why is important digitalization for Europe and for the young people.
Okay, digitalization is an enormous opportunity and challenge for the current generation. It's revolutionizing the world of work, business structures and value chains, as well as innovation and market structures. In few terms, digitalizations can make us win a lot of time, a lot of money and a lot of energy in the workplace, study and in all our life aspects.
And we can talk about things like Google Meet, digitalization using Zoom and meetings online during the pandemic. This was very important. And Sophie, how do you live this situation during the pandemic in creating the meeting online with people and the lessons and other workshop online?
I think it's okay because now we are we try to work with it on a daily basis. However, I think it's still important that we have physical contact if necessary, if possible. And I think it's still we need to explain and share how it works more for all generation and not only the young generation.
Yeah, actually the good side of the pandemic that it was a catalyst to make our life more digital, to make us use these platforms, and these platforms showed that they can be a permanent solution in our life, especially in the workspace. I want to ask Daniela, do you think that our life, the work, for example, you work in Brussels, you told me, do you think that it's like more easier to work using online platforms, not going every day to the work, you go just when it's necessary?
I have mixed feelings about it. I definitely agree with the statement that digital tools make your life easier, but sometimes, being connected 24/7 can be really stressful, and sometimes employers take advantage of that. I think we should kind of have a more legislation that kind of regulates, the amount of time workers spend online, and I agree with Sophie's as well. It's never a replacement for face-to-face contact. I think that meeting people in person is still valuable to make connections and to have a warmer approach to work, but to life in general.
I think that this is very important because we don't have to refuse our social instinct and live together with the other people during our workplace, and we don't need to work every day online from our home. It's important to connect with each other, and we have made radio at distance with the people, and we prefer to do this in studio with the live show. And Silvia, how did you leave this situation? And in your opinion, you are expert about social media. You think that social media can help people to become more connected in online event and maybe to be more connected in the on-site event like I?
Young people in general are so connected, all day, every time. And this is so important for the young generation because everything is on internet. And an event like Hi is on internet too. But in this case, it's so important that I were on the internet because everyone can see what we do, everyone can see the events, the panel, and everything. But I have a question. How do you see, guys, the digitalization for the young people and for the old people? Because the old people are so difficult in this case.
Actually, the old people, in terms of numbers, Europe is less digital than USA. With the digital tools, you can simplify things as much as possible, and you can make the old people also use them, and that's like a fact now in Norway, in USA, in many countries of the world. The old people also use the cashless technologies, use all the IT technologies in all life aspects. This is like a fact now, so it's not a big problem, I think.
How do you live our era of cashless and use a debit card or credit card to pay and not use the money on paper? You prefer the use of credit debit card, the cashless, Sophie?
I think with the current situation, yes, unfortunately, it's probably better to use the credit card. I mean, I adopt.
And you, Daniela, you are in Bruxelles, and it's different from Italy, the world of Belgium.
Yeah, it is somehow different. I see that cashless payments are more common in Italy, definitely. But I live in China as well, where like you don't need your wallet at all. You can just pay using apps like WeChat, like Alipay, and every payment is tracked. And yeah, basically you don't use paper currency anymore. But that also raises some issues like privacy, like stealing of digital identities and so on. So, well, it's very complex for us.
Yeah, actually, I will start talking a bit about cashless. I'm out of the European Union, as all know. When I came to the European Union, I was having in mind before coming that Europe is cashless, so cashless. But I was a bit shocked by the fact that the money, paper money, is still used a lot. Okay, this is the downside of the digitalization, that our data now was like leaked to hackers, to scammers, to people who can use this data in bad things. But I think this is like the legislators' business is like to work more, to make the laws more, to make like more faster laws to fight this cybercrime and cyber defense.
But it's not strange that here in the European Parliament, in the mains of European Parliament, there is no only cashless cash, but there are mixed the cash, and you can pay with money, paper, or with the credit or debit card. I think this is a little bit strange because I prefer that there will be a place, a cash only for the cashless. Is more efficient for the people. What do you think about that?
Actually, I think I hate the cash. I lose the cash so much, so I hate it. I prefer always using the cashless things. But it's like here, you can't like it's like freedom. People who want to use the cash, they must have also the ability to use the cash. But I think this is like, I repeat, it's like the business of the lawmakers to make things more fast, to move to this trend.
I agree with Fourat, and I think that's so important that in Italy too now we use some app for paying. So now we pay with card, we pay with cash, and we pay with phone.
And this is very, very important. What do you think, Sophie, about this topic? Okay, I really appreciate this topic and the fact that we can improve ourselves with the digitalization. I think that we don't be more alienated by the digitalization and performance during work. And Fourat, do you want to conclude with a little bit of your knowledge about cashless, an advice for our listeners?
I again advise lawmakers, legislators to make the things more fast, because this is what technology needs. It needs people to make things faster. That's all what it needs. So it needs time. So we must start now, I think, in making, like, for example, sometimes people refuse to accept credit cards. Must be like in the law, very clear. You can pay any amount, anything with credit card.
I want to thank you, Sophie. I'm sorry if I said that you are a Danish girl. Sorry, and I'm very. This was a gaffe. I want to thank Daniela for telling us her experience outside Italy in Brussels. This is very important. Silvia for all the knowledge about the social media, and Fourat because you are very expert about economy. You are the best expert about economy here in RadUni and Europhonica. We are live on all the radios of RadUni, 32 radios connected to Europhonica RadUni IT live show. This is very important. After our musical break, we are gonna have a talk about inclusivity and accessibility with Francesca Franzè and Gloria Beltrami, so stay tuned. It's very, very important now to keep listening about all the projects of RadUni, like the prize Antonio Megalizzi for the thesis written and translated in 27 languages of all the countries of Europe, and we can listen a song that is very important for Europe by Rino Gaetano. He wrote a love song for a woman that is outside Marianna, I Love You.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
¿Vas a graduarte en una universidad de la Unión Europea y tu tesis de grado tendrá como objeto el tema de la radio y/o de los medios de comunicación universitarios y de comunidad? RadUni ha instituido un premio de graduación en memoria de Antonio Megalizzi y Bartosz Niedzielski. Puedes encontrar cualquier información y el anuncio de participación traducido en 24 idiomas gracias a la cooperación con el canal audio del Parlamento Europeo en el sitio www.raduni.org.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Hello everyone, welcome back live again from our radio studios in Strasbourg at the European Parliament. I'm Francesca and I'm very happy to be here. I'm from Calabria, a beautiful area of South Italy, but I study in Pisa, well known as the city of the Slope Tower. I don't speak English very well, and this is my first time in Strasbourg and to be here for the European Youth Event 2021, even during a pandemic, is a big fortune.
It's my first time in Strasbourg too. I'm Gloria from Reggio Emilia, which is in the north of Italy, a little city, and today we are in company of a brand new guest, which are Attila and Alessandra and Amanda. Thank you for coming. And is it your first time here in Strasbourg too?
Yeah, it's I think both of our first time, you could say. We came here with a youth organization from a political party in Germany, and we also, me and Amanda, we met yesterday for the first time. So yeah.
That's the second time for me in Strasbourg, but it's always good to come here. It's always beautiful. And thank you for having us. Thank you for this opportunity you're giving.
It's a pleasure.
Let's break the ice. Where are you from?
So I can start. I'm Amanda. I'm from Germany, as Attila said, and I've joined the Junge Liberale. It's a youth organization of a party in Germany. And we come from all over Germany, and as Attila said, we just met yesterday.
And just out of curiosity, what city are you from again?
I'm from Germany, in Stuttgart. It's in the south. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And I'm from Nuremberg, pretty old city, about 500,000 people that live there. And yeah, also pretty much in the south. But we also have people coming here from Berlin or other places in Germany. Yeah, it's pretty big, so.
It's famous, I guess, for the history.
Yeah, for sure. If you like history, also Nuremberg, like my place, a lot of important things that are there.
I've been there on holiday, I think 6 or 7 years ago.
Nice. And funny coincidence, I've been on the radio, I think it was also 7 years ago with my school.
Oh my God.
It's a throwback Saturday.
Okay. Well, today we would like to discuss the many perspective with us, with you, the inclusion and accessibility in our daily life. So accessibility and education, in jobs, in schools, with a particular focus on our personal experience. So, in your opinion, do you believe that Europe has been enough prepared to give you the tools for your professional fulfillment, or generally for your education, Alessandra?
Well, I certainly believe that there is a barrier between the national and the European level. So, for instance, I didn't do much of a European education in school, and in school they didn't teach me, I don't know, how to reach the European Union, how to get jobs in the European Union, how to travel. So I think that perhaps the national and the European should work better to reach out younger students, because of course maybe the university is easier, but they should also work on high schools, for instance. That's my opinion.
Very interesting. And would you like to add something, Amanda?
I guess many young people don't even know that there are so many opportunities and possibilities in the European Union that they can choose from. But as Alessandra said, I think it's very important to show them all these opportunities so that they can seize them.
So thank you for your answer. And let me ask you another question. In your opinion, at what point is the achievement of your full consciousness about the inclusion of a person with disabilities? For example, at school or at job?
Good question. I think we should all ask the question to ourselves more often. Like, for example, yesterday we did a little task. It was, I think, one floor up, and it was about deaf people and how to include them into the society more. And that's when I really came across that, for example, I have no friends with disabilities in my like kind of social circle, and also starting in the metro, what our participant told us that they rely on lip reading, for example, and during COVID, when we all had to wear masks, they were pretty much left out of society, kind of, and because they rely on lip reading, for example, it was pretty hard for them to have conversations and get to know new people. And I didn't know about that at all because I just don't see it in my daily life, and that's a problem, I think.
I know. Thank you for your experience. Let me ask you another thing, Attila. Thinking of your daily experience in your country, do you believe that the project of the EU in this specific field are becoming a reality, or are just, empty words?
I think that's a really hard question, actually, because there are more qualified people that are, I think, trying to solve the same things, and they can't because, like I said, European Union consists of so many different countries, and it's hard to find one solution for all the countries. But I think we should raise awareness for sure. Maybe start in schools at an early age. For example, I was really privileged in I don't know how to say it, the first school you go to, what was the name again, elementary school, we had shared class with people with disabilities, and that was really good, and I think we should include it more to all the schools in Germany.
Boost this experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And you, Alessandra, do you want to add something?
Yeah, certainly. I'm from Italy. Perhaps I didn't say that before. And I super agree with what has been said about the experience in the elementary school with persons with disabilities. At some point, this experience is lost for a reason that it's not really clear to me. So perhaps involving not only kids with disabilities, but also adults with disabilities in our everyday life. Well, if you think about it, at some point we stop meeting them for a certain reason. We don't meet them in schools, in universities. Why is that? Why do they? Why are they isolated somehow in the society? I think if we can answer this question, then we can also find a solution perhaps to this.
I totally agree with you, and this is the reason why I started volunteering with people with disabilities.
Oh, that's nice.
Speaking of not only inclusion, accessibility, disabilities, Amanda, did you attend any activities or workshop yesterday here at the European Youth event, which was interesting for you in some way?
Yes, I did. I mean, there are so many to choose from, and for every topic basically. And I really enjoyed the talk about the climate. Yeah, because that's very important as well.
Is it your main interest at the sustainability and climate change?
I mean, yes, I'm very interested in that. It's so important, and not only for our generation, but for everybody, basically. But it's the young people that raise awareness for this topic mainly. So, yeah.
Yes, I have another question for our guest. Speaking of inclusion, and I'm a lover of music, and I think that music is a channel to express ourselves and express emotion and a different point of view. Do you remember a particular song which focuses on accessibility? Tell us, Attila, something.
Does it have to include inclusion like the song, or is it just a song that gives me a good feeling because of the melody?
The second one.
Okay. I think I can even come to a song name. It's called Power by Duke Dumont, and it goes into this genre of deep house and just like good vibes music, if you could say so. And the headline is I Can Feel the Power. And yeah, that's how I feel when I'm here in Strasbourg, because I meet so many nice people, for example, and we talk about all those important topics, and it just gives me a good feeling, and it boosts my confidence also to talk here with you girls.
Thank you, Attila. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, time's up. Thank you, Francesca, for having me here today.
Thank you to Gloria.
It is a very, very pleasure for me speaking with you.
Me
thank
too.
you to our host, Attila, Amanda, Alessandra. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you for
thank
this
you.
opportunity.
Thank you to our technicians, the European Parliament, the radio director. Thank you very much. Enjoy your last day here in Strasbourg at the European Youth event. We'll be back in a minute with Giusi and Simone with a new talk about sports.
And now let's sing together with Martin Garrix and U2 with We Are the People.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Are you graduating from one of the European Union universities with a thesis regarding college and university radio, or more in general, college, university or community media? RadUni has established a degree award in memory of Antonio Megalizzi and Bartosza Rennezielski. All the information and the call for participation available in 24 languages thanks to our collaboration with the audio and podcast unit of the European Parliament are online at www.raduni.org at the dedicated section.
You are now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Welcome back everyone, we are still here on air from the radio studios of the European Parliament in Strasbourg. I'm Simone Matteis, I'm very excited to be here in this amazing place with my colleague Giusi Sipala.
Hello everyone!
Now we are gonna talk about sport. After a great summer full of sport events like the Olympic and Paralympic Games, European Championship of Football, and Italy won, and much more, now it's time to reflect on the power of the sport in the European Union. Great welcome to our guest. Please, let's introduce yourself and tell us where are you from.
Hello, I'm Alan. I'm come from France, in Paris, in the region of Paris. I'm a student from communication school. I did communication studies. Actually, I worked in a political party, and that's all.
Hello, my name is Anaël. I have 16 years old. I'm French, region Bretagne. I'm school for MFR Britannique Provence-sur-Mer on bac pro. Wow.
Great to have you here. So welcome to the European Youth event with us.
And let's start from you, Alan. Here at the AI 2021 there are lots of sport facilities and laboratories. Have you already had the opportunity to join one of these activities?
I didn't do any sports activities for the moment. I saw them on the application, but I think we will go after to a sport activity and taste it because it's really interesting.
Great to know. Well, I'm a sporty person, a very sporty person, but actually I forgot my shoes. So even if I checked all the sport events or the sport activities at the I was like, oh, I forgot my shoes at home, so maybe I will chill somewhere. Or just check all the other events. But I had the opportunity to look at the activities and the people having them, enjoying them, and I really understand that sport is a very universal language, especially because people who don't speak English or who don't understand the other languages were able to enjoy the same game, the same playing game with other people. For example, Anaël is not speaking English very well, but I'm sure that if you want to enjoy any of the sport activities at the I, you will not be afraid to don't be able to speak English. So, in my personal opinion, sport is something that can unite Europe, can unite countries, can unite people. But do you think it's the same? Like, do you think that sport can unite or can divide people or countries? You can speak in French, no problem. Fourat will help us.
J'ai compris la question.
Tu peux parler français?
Ouais, mais faudrait bien commencer là-dessus.
Okay, I think that sports is a universal language. For example, you are from Africa, you are from Asia, from Europe, from Latin America. When you are playing sports with someone, it's like, you know, physical activity, it's like eye contact, it's like universal language, you understand the person without talking. I think that sport is like a good tool to unite us, to know more people, to know more cultures, to know more about the world generally.
Oh, great. But what's your opinion, Alan, about this?
I think there is no better example than sports to unite people when you can see, for example, the FIFA World Cup every 4 years. You have something very special, unique. All people in the world are united, defending for their countries, and you have the same, for example, with the Olympic Games or this kind of types of events. And I think it's a better language even than English, because when you do sports, you can, for example, if you go on the beach, and you always have some friends, whatever where they come, they will play with you and you will enjoy every moment with them. So I think it's really unique from sport.
For sport, yeah. Oh, I completely agree with what you just said.
And let's think about another thing, interesting thing, because we are the European Union, and maybe we can compete, we can play sports as just one big country, big continent, but in reality we play, we compete, we take part in the sport games divided, because there is France, there is Italy, Germany, and so on. So it's very different because even if we are united from a point of view, we are divided into the sport point of view. Let me say something else about division, not only this kind of particular division.
Oh, another point of view.
Yeah, about ourselves as a European Union, but let me say something about the division generated by the sport. For instance, let's think about the clashes or conflict which many times happens between opponent supporters. I mean, it's not just about football. You know, what happens around the green field of football, around the stadium, interests so much public opinion, maybe because the numbers of people who follow football is very big. But of course, not only in Europe, but also in all of the world. But you know, football is just one sport, not the sport in general. So what about you, Alan? According to your experience or your country situation, maybe according to France's situation, do you think that there is another sport who deserves more space? I mean, in society as well as in media coverage. What do you think about?
I think you can have a good example with rugby, for example, because more in the south of France, it's really more practiced, and it's really more in the south of France, but it's a really popular game. So yes, I think it's a good example, and it really deserves to be more on TV, on medias and everything.
Once again, I totally agree with you. Also because when it's about divisions, I also think about gender gap or sports like rugby, for example, which are usually considered as a male sport and not a sport for female. But, well, that's another topic. What I really would like to know is, Fourat, in Tunisia, which is the best sport, the most followed sport, or the one you think should be more followed?
Well, actually in Tunisia is very near to the European culture. Also football in Tunisia is the first sports. Also in Tunisia, Simone said that sports like the European Union plays as countries, not just one country, which is European Union. Actually, if you go even inside the country, you will see that sports sometimes create regionalism, and that's a big problem now in Tunisia, my country. Well, that's like we need more to talk about this in media. We need more to talk to people that sports something we do with love, not with hate. It's not a fight. It's competition, but it's a competition in the good side. We must not take it to the left side, to the wrong side. That's, I think, the most important thing.
Yeah, great point. But what I would like to say now is that Europe is not just about languages or opportunity to study or to have a career in all the European countries. It's also about sport. So, for example, if you check the Erasmus Plus opportunities, and if you go to check also the Erasmus Plus website, you could find a lot of opportunities connected and related to sport. So, what it's important to do is to consider sport as a universal language and a great opportunity, a great media to go somewhere, to have friends and to explore yourself, especially yourself. So, would you like to say something, Alan?
Yes, it's about what you said. I'm totally agree with you, because with Erasmus, 2 years ago I have been in Croatia, and I did my Erasmus experience here, and we met some French people, but also German guys or Spanish boys, and it was crazy because the best experience we had was traveling, but also sports. The university organized some sports events, and we were totally together. And the sports, I really think, unites people, and I saw it with Erasmus in Croatia.
Well, great. So the future is ours, and don't miss all the sport opportunities. Thank you very much to being with us. Keep enjoying the AI events, and now it's time for music. Manu, ciao. Bella, ciao.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Stehen Sie kurz vor dem Abschluss in einer der Universitäten der Europäischen Union? Geht Ihre Abschlussarbeit um Universitätsgesellschaftsmedienkommunikation? RadUni hat einen Abschlusspreis in Erinnerung an Antonio Megalizzi und Bartosz Henri gerufen. Alle Informationen und den Teilnahmeantrag, die in 24 Sprachen vom Audio- und Podcast-Unit des Europäischen Parlaments zur Verfügung gestellt wurde, finden Sie auf der bestimmten Seite unserer Website www.raduni.org.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
And we are back live from the radio studios here at the European Parliament in Strasbourg for the European Youth Event 2021. We are Europhonica, and right now, talking with you guys, there are two brand new hosts. I am Martina, and with me there is the amazing Alessandra.
Hello everyone, thank you Martina, but we are not alone, we have a special guest today, so guys, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Isaac, I'm from France, a little bit in Brittany, so we are here at the high event, we arrived yesterday, and it's such a very cool event, and we are glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Theo, I'm from France. It's amazing to be here today. I'm 17 years old and it's very amazing for me. I'm from to a little place and it's amazing.
Yeah, a little
Strasbourg.
place of France?
A little country, little cities. It's amazing to be here. Strasbourg is very expensive.
It's amazing to having you guys. But let's start it. We want to talk today about alimentation and food waste. So my first question for us is, yesterday you of course tried the canteen of European Parliament, no? So do you have favorite dishes? Who wanna start?
We'll start. That's a good one because there is a lot of choice. You know, there is. I think yesterday there was 5 choice, and I take the rice, but it was also good. My favorite dishes is sushi, so there is not sushi
tasty.
yesterday.
It's tasty.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
Yeah.
So what's about me? And you?
I take a good food. It's very good. The place is beautiful. So many people. Is good.
Yeah, so you liked it. Yeah, that's nice. But related to food, you know that food leads to a lot of food waste. So, you know, there is a lot of food waste produced in the EU, nearly 88 million tons. So, what do you think could be the best practices to reduce waste food?
I think maybe buy more responsibly. I think it's a work of it's our work. It's our responsibility, not maybe the European Union, and maybe like the big markets can also give the unsold goods to people who need some, and can reduce the waste of these goods.
Yeah. What about you?
I think today we can't waste dishes, waste food, because another country, people can lunch, can't eat.
Yeah,
And today we can't.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Yeah, of course.
And do you have like practices that you use in your daily life?
I try to eat like the food is going to be not good anymore. So I don't know if you see what I mean, but
yes, of course.
Yeah, so that's what I do, and I don't buy too much. I'm buying the day for the evening and for the next hour. So that's my mind.
Okay. You wanna say something about your, daily practice?
Not especially.
Not especially. Okay. So, what do you think are the most impactful factors that lead the food waste in your opinion? What do you think it's the main reason that we waste food?
Maybe the overbuying prospection and the junk food. Maybe there is too much marketing on junk food, and it don't give a good mind for people, so they don't will buy a lot of good choice, and so they will refer to promotion and buy more and more and more. So if you buy more and more and more food, you will not eat more and more. You will just waste more and more. So that's like a bit of a cycle.
Yeah.
But I think we need to do more marketing or more ads about responsible food project, to know how to eat, to know how to cook good meat, good food, and just be not dependent of big firms.
Maybe a great educational
about
like alimentation. Yeah. And you, our science friend, what do you think about waste food? What do you think it's main reason that we waste food?
I think it's just a question of education.
Don't worry.
I think fast food is so extended. It's so it's not normal. We need to be habituated with vegetables and fruits. It's too.
Yeah, so the centrality of education from a young age, I guess. Yeah, I think we would agree, Alessandra, that education from a young age is important in terms of food.
Of course.
Yeah. But you also know that the production of food is one of the causes of the emission of high levels of CO2. We know that sustainable food and climate change is an important topic here at EI. Do you have any suggestions on how to solve this problem, how we can contribute to lessen the levels of CO2 emissions in terms of food?
I'm not a specialist, but I think we can use the regions who are more adapted to make some food in this place. So I don't really know what are the causes, but maybe try to be more responsible on what we want to project and what is really needed for our body. So I think we don't need a lot of tomato to produce ketchup, for example. I don't know, but it's like an example from that.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I think yes. Just eat locally and eat when you want. I don't.
Yeah. To enhance local products, the production of local products that may stay maybe in the region.
Yeah.
So you don't have also the cost of transportation, and this stays in the area while even be produced and making the economy go
and less pollution.
Yeah, exactly.
So, did you know that during the COVID lockdown, the cafeteria make meals for the needy people? did you know that the cafeteria of Parliament make the meals for needy people?
No, I didn't, but it's a good idea. And
what do you think about it?
you want to start?
No.
Okay. Okay. It's very
You just
good.
enjoy us with calm.
It's very good because I think if they can do that,
Yeah.
it's because they don't want to do some waste also. And I'm very proud that the European Parliament and the cafeteria here can be that for needy people, and I think it's a march of progress.
Yeah, it's something special, no? That connect the building with the people.
Yeah. I think it's strange, but if they can do that in COVID period, they can do that maybe in this period too.
Yeah, they can try.
Yeah.
And you want to say something about it?
No.
It's okay for you?
It's good.
It's good. So we invite the Parliament to continue these
Yeah,
activities,
of course.
no?
Yeah.
It's a good signal.
Yeah, because as we said before, the food was actually good. Yeah, and you can try so many different types of cuisines at the European Parliament. As you saw yesterday, that there's like the Italian cuisine and the French cuisine.
For all people.
Yeah. What did you try yesterday?
Yeah, I think I try something French, toast.
Yeah, toast.
You know, a special toast with cheese. I don't
Croque-monsieur.
remember. Croque-monsieur, yeah. And it was like something new, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's easy to prepare and very good to eat.
Simple. A simple pasta.
Yeah, I have to say we don't have that in Italy. So it's nice to try new things.
Yeah, really.
So our time is nearly up. It's been nearly 10-15 minutes that we've been speaking. So I want to thank all of you for being here with us today. Thank you, Isaac and Theo, for your time and joining us. I want to thank our audience that has been listening to us, Europhonica and Radio Universitarie, for giving us this opportunity. And also, we want to thank our technicians and radio director that are behind our glass in front of us. And especially want to thank Alessandra.
Thank you, Martina. I, of course, thank you. From Alessandra and Martina, thank you for staying with us, but continue to listen here, the radio from Strasbourg. We are back in 5 little minutes with Nicoletta and Davide, and we talk about gender equality. But first, we listen a little music, so we now have Discotheque by The Roop.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Europhonica from Strasbourg for the European Youth Event. It's 12 o'clock. Stay with us.
Vous êtes sur le point d'obtenir votre diplôme d'une université européenne et votre thèse portera sur la radio et ou les médias universitaires et communautaires. RadUni a créé un prix de diplôme à la mémoire d'Antonio Megalizzi et de Bartosz Orent-Niedzielski.
Toutes les informations et l'annonce en 24 langues traduites par l'unité audio et podcast du Parlement européen sont disponibles sur notre site www.raduni.org sur la page dédiée.
Hello, it's me. No, it's not Adele, but I'm Nicoletta Labarile. I'm a journalist and part of Europhonica project. We are live from radio studios in the amazing reality of HAI 2021. And now we are gonna talk all together about Europe and in particular about gender equality in Europe. So, to have a balance, I'm not alone, of course. With me, the only one, Davide Farinetti, my partner in crime, only for today.
Hi everybody, I'm the Vice President of RadUni and I'm a very pleasure to be here with you. We have some guests. We can start with the presentation, where you come from and your name. And we have now women that arrived at the last moment. What's your name and where you come from?
I am Ana, I'm from Spain, from a very small city called Teruel.
And we have Adam. Hi Adam.
Hello, I'm Adam. I'm from Czech Republic, Prague.
And last but not least...
I'm Matteis. I'm from a very small city in western Austria.
We have a lot of countries: Italy, Spain, Austria and Czech Republic. So Nicoletta, we can start with our dialogue.
Yes, we have to talk about many issues because gender is a complex concept. But I want to start from my personal experience because I'm host my own program in Radio Sapienza called Le Ragazze Stanno Bene, where I deal with the political issues about gender, and I talk about, in particular, about feminism. So I want to start from my experience because I think that personal is so political. And I'm so happy to be here to talk with you because I think that equality is a revolution, is a battle, and we can do together this. So I'm very curious to know what do you want about this talk and your think about that.
We can start about the theme of the body and the gender, the genre we have. Do you feel, Adam, we start with you, how do you feel with your body, with your gender of a male and the fact of the gender equality battle? What do you think?
Well, if you look at a personal level, I am personally very satisfied I'm very happy with who I am. So I'm very glad I don't have to fight this battle of not being satisfied with who I am. And it's definitely hard for me to imagine not being happy. It's definitely hard for me to imagine how do other people feel who not necessarily are comfortable in their own body.
And this is very difficult, and we have to understand the other. And we can talk with you, Anna. What do you think about that, about the gender battle and the gender equality, and how do you feel with your body and with the fact that you are a woman?
As a woman, I feel comfortable with my body, but I really think that there are people who doesn't feel comfortable, but we have to live there, the liberty, the freedom to decide who they are.
And you, Matteis?
I think it's very important that you have to be happy with yourself and you don't have to listen to other opinions, how they want you to be. If you're happy, that's the most important thing.
About that, I want to read a tweet of the Ursula von der Leyen. Do you know Ursula von der Leyen? So last March, European Union was declared as a LGBT freedom zone. About that, Ursula von der Leyen tweeted on her social media, "Being yourself is not an ideology; it's your identity." I agree with these sentences, but I want to know what do you think about that, especially related to the politics.
If I have to say, from a Spanish perspective, there is a political wave, feminism has not to be linked with ideology. Feminism has to be a thing for all women and even men to tackle and to fight for our rights, but doesn't have to be linked with a party, with a political wave.
And your country, Adam, the Czech Republic, how work for this or how don't work for this gender equality battle?
There are parties for whom it's a big agenda, especially the Green Party, which is a not parliamentarian party, and because they are sharing the electorate with the Pirate Party, for whom it is also a very important agenda, but not as important as for the Greens. In Czech Republic, sadly, the participation of female members of parliament is about 30% to 70% male. We have an initiative, which I don't necessarily agree with, that you should give preferential votes to women. I think you should give preferential votes to people based on merit. But personally, I have given preferential votes to a female candidate because I think she's probably the best for her job.
I think that the gender equality, the 50-50%, is important to create a situation in which women can participate to the official political party and position in the parliament, and then we can go to the merit after this. This is on a conquer that we have to do. And in Austria, Matteis, the situation is good or it's bad?
let's say the situation could be better, and it's not very good. So our parties, which are currently in the power, so we have a conservative party which doesn't really support feminism, and luckily they're working together with the Green Party, and the Green Party really does support feminism, and I by myself are part of this green movement, and we have the rule that there has to be a 50-50 rule, and only women or not cis males could be in a leadership position in this party, and I really support it.
So you're right, feminism is a common revolution that includes men and women. About that, is there anything that politics should do and not do? What do you think about that?
Adam?
Personally, I think that there's an interesting discussion about quotas, having 50-50. It's an interesting discussion to have, and it's something I think many people view personally and not empirically. They don't see the facts behind it, and I personally haven't formed an opinion about it yet. I want to stay clear of that. But I would like to say that, like Matthew said, you shouldn't disregard a leader just because of his gender, be it a male, be it a female. I think you should be equal in both ways, and of course we should push, or we should create programs in order for women to feel included in politics, and to, of course, be the 50% that they deserve. But I don't think we should force it.
We can conclude our talk about about the terms that are used to make a distraction of people. I know that a kind of term like hysteric is used to women, because hysteric reminds to the uterus and is very, very aggressive to a woman. Use hysteric the word hysteric instead using on a man. In your country there are words that have a meaning, positive meaning for men and a negative meaning for women. Can we start with you, Hannah, in Spain? There is a situation like this with other words?
Yes, there are like a wave of, because in Spain, like the plural, in Spanish the plural is a masculine example. So it say that and that this is no good for a woman. This is like much simpler say.
Okay, this is a very, very problematic situation.
Yes, it's the same in Italy. So about languages, there are a lot of studies about that, to include all persons also in the way to speak. For example, do you know the discussion about the use of schwa? It is a kind of text to use in our way to write in order to include all in our conversation. And there are different points of view about that, but it's a fact that women are about discrimination, more violence than men. So the words are so important. I totally agree with my partner in crime.
We are in a radio studio. We communicate, create communication, and we have to use the correct word, the correct meaning, and this is very important. And I hope that you can listen to Nicoletta radio show Le ragazze stanno bene, Women Feel Good, that is on air on Radio Sapienza, college radio on Rome. So it's very important to listen her program and all the program of RadUni circuit.
Yes, because it's important to talk about that, because we have the need to unite and create a network about that. What is the situation about network between women and men about this revolution in our country, in your country, Mattias?
Yeah, there are many clubs, or like I'd like to call it clubs, where people who support feminism can connect with other people who support feminism, and I really like the vibes in this club, in these clubs, because every person thinks the same way, and I think it's really important that people can talk within themselves to support each other's ideas and to get a bigger voice in the community.
I very hope that in the future this battle will be a priority also for European Union, and I want to thank all of you because it's always very, very exciting discuss with other people about that. Now stay tuned because now it's time for music and we are here live from I-Event.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
¿Vas a graduarte en una universidad de la Unión Europea? Y tu tesis de grado tendrá como objeto el tema de la radio y o de los medios de comunicación universitarios y de comunidad. RadUni ha instituido un premio de graduación en memoria de Antonio Megalizzi y Bartosz Niedzielski. Puedes encontrar cualquier información y el anuncio de participación traducido en 24 idiomas gracias a la cooperación con el canal audio del Parlamento Europeo en el sitio www.raduni.org.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
And hi everyone, we are in Strasbourg in European Parliament. I'm Silvia from RadUni, and with me there is Virginia.
Hi Silvia, hi everyone.
And with us there are so many special guests from Spain, all from Spain. So introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Adrian. I'm from Santander in the north of Spain. I am 30 years old. I'm really happy to be here with you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria. I'm also from Spain, from the northwest, a region called Galicia.
And I'm Gabriela, I'm 23 too, and I'm a friend from Maria, so I'm from Galicia too.
Welcome in a new generation format of Europhonica and RadUni. Now we are talking about fake news, disinformation and bad information, right?
Yeah, of course. So we speak about disinformation. Disinformation is a phenomenon which is important to know because it happens when a person talks intentionally about something by giving false information. And this is different from bad information because bad information can happen when someone says a news which isn't totally correct, but it's so because the person who speaks maybe doesn't know the argument at all, so they have no intention to lie and confuse people, the public. And it's important to speak, I think, about disinformation because there is an intention to confuse people.
Yeah, and we are journalists. I know about you if you...
I'm a journalist too.
Okay, I'm a journalist too. And do you prefer tell the truth and maybe no one read it? Or tell something catchy for Google, for example, if you are a journalist online, I am, so I have to pay attention of Google, and maybe tell something wrong to your public.
Well, from a point of view, obviously, I prefer tell the truth, even if it's boring or it's less interest. Well, not interest, because I believe that journalism focuses on topics that are important to know. But obviously, maybe these stories are like less fun to read and less fun to care about. So I think the important part is to try to make it more engaging, because you need to fight with this all information and disinformation that it's around us every day, at every time, on social media and also in our lives, because people talk about what they read. So I think it's everywhere.
Yeah, and we are gonna talk about social media, but now what you think about it, guys?
I'm totally with Maria. I think that misinformation is a big problem for ourselves and for the big public. And I think that one of the biggest problem is that there is a poor education about how we consume media and how we learn and how we read news in social media and in newspapers, of course. And I think that's a problem from far away. It's not a problem for social media or this contemporary era. And yes, I guess that we have too much to work from the journalism about how we choose the topics. That is a kind of disinformation to choose the wrong topics because of the interest that we think that the audience wants. And maybe we don't have to put the themes that they think they want, but we think as journalists that the agenda deserves. So that's a big problem today because it doesn't give clicks. So.
Well, for instance, I'm not journalist, I'm a teacher, for example, but I think that there is a problem with the disinformation, and this problem is going to a war, because nowadays, for example, in politics, the disinformation is a bomb that or a weapon that the different parties use to fight, no? And there is a big war nowadays. I remember the Trump history with the fake news, or, for example, in Spain, we have many websites to decide which is a fake news or not, and this is a completely war.
I have a question for you that, well, you are a teacher, and I want to ask you, are young people really skilled with the social network? Are they really able to recognize true news and false news, fake news? Or because I found a lot of also a lot of adult and old people who often get confused about what is the true news and what is a fake news, because it's not always easy to
they don't.
recognize them.
Kids don't know about which is a good news or fake news. And remember something: we are influenced. Well, there are influencers because people can be influenced. So nowadays, for example, with Instagram or TikTok or every social network do we have, and young people cannot choose which is real or which is fake. They watch every influencers on their mobile phones, and they get their opinions as a good option, or if they follow one journalist that says something and they follow him or her because they like their lifestyle or their way to talk, they think that this news is good because this person says, but they don't investigate if it's a good news or a fake news.
Yeah, that's interesting. It would be fine, I think, if also in the school teacher talk and teach about how to recognize a fake news. Maybe it could be useful subject like journalism in the school.
It would be useful, but the teachers are not prepared to teach that because they don't know either.
Yeah, there is a gap, a generational gap between young people and old people and teacher. Yeah, but I agree because I think the young people need an education for the internet, for the social media, because are dangerous if you don't know how to use it, and are dangerous because it's the main media for the fake news. Because, for example, my dad read all the news on Facebook, and so I have to tell him that the news, maybe it's not real, maybe it's not true, but I have to explain to my dad how to recognize a fake news. So what do you think about the social media?
Well, I think it's a good platform to share knowledge, and it connects everyone around the world, so it doesn't need to be bad. But it's easier to share feelings, and this, I think, is the main sign when you see a fake news, because it appeals to you with feelings. And it's super easy to like a post and to like a photo and to like a TikTok, and it leads you to another one similar. So I think maybe children don't have the tools now, but Instagram has and Facebook has. And for example, I think everyone has seen during the pandemic how if you post something in Instagram related to the COVID-19, there is a sign that says, this is information about COVID, here you can find more information about it. So maybe we can't develop something by only us, but maybe these social media channels can. I mean, maybe they don't know the fact, but if we are talking about, for example, electoral campaigns, and there is a message related to this, you can see an advertisement saying, hey, this topic might be fake news. Maybe you can try to, I don't know, look in this website or know if this is related to a political party. So I think we need to think on the social media like an actor in this conversation and not only the platform.
Okay, we are almost on the conclusion of our talk, but what do you think about it?
I'm totally with Maria again, because I think that as well as social media have a great power to spread disinformation, it has to spread good information, and we have to learn which languages we have to develop to learn and to achieve that audience that we have. And I think that the big problem today in political information is not in social media, but in message platforms as WhatsApp, Line, because there is no contrast, there is no deliberating, and we don't have actors that can be in between the audience, the goal, I think, and the liar. So we have to think about what measures we can create to avoid that false information through channels that are hermetic.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I understand. And what about you, Telegraphic, please?
For example, I agree with them, but I think that the social media platforms should be actors, but I think that they should not decide which is true or which is false. They should say, as you said, should give you an information. This may be a fake news, but could be or maybe. But for example, I don't like when Twitter or Facebook or Instagram decide which is fake and which is true, because they have political interests.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for being with us. And now some music, some Italian music. She is a very important singer, Gianna Nannini, with 10.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Are you graduating from one of the European Union universities with a thesis regarding college and university radio, or more in general, college, university, or community media? RadUni has established a degree award in memory of Antonio Megalizzi and Bartosz Rennezielski. All the information and the call for participation available in 24 languages thanks to our collaboration with the audio and podcast unit of the European Parliament are online at www.raduni.org at the dedicated section.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
And welcome back. We're on air again from our radio studio, Antonio Megalizzi and Bartosz Rennezielski from the European Parliament in Strasbourg. And we're still together here to discuss another very interesting topic, Europe and young people. I'm Diana Russo, but I'm not alone today. I'm here with Irene Centola. Hi, Irene.
Hi everybody, hi Diana, thank you for the introduction. It is an honor for me to be here at the European Youth Event, also because this is my first time here at the European Parliament, and I'm very thrilled to talk about such an important issue, such as how Europe approaches to young people, and I'm very happy to do this with our new guests, who are Simone, Maria, and Mark. So guys, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Mark McGee. I'm an official volunteer for the 25% project.
And what about you?
I'm Maria Causo. I'm from Spain. I'm a journalist.
I'm Simone Aparicio. I'm from Spain also, and I'm financial advisor.
It is a very great opportunity for us as young people, and I think you can agree with me if you're here at to be involved in shaping Europe and also being involved by its institutions. I know, Irene, that you've had many experiences regarding this kind of involvement in Europe, right?
Yeah, in fact, I had the opportunity to travel a lot in different countries to Erasmus Plus projects, and each time I found, and I still find nowadays, new ways to improve my skills, open my mind and broaden my horizon. So I would like to share my passion with all of you guys. And what about you, Diana? Have you ever experienced something like that?
Yes, I've been in Erasmus in Scotland during Brexit, which was very weird, and it was an interesting time, to be there because it's in the most pro-European country in the UK. I've also been in Ireland, and it was very, very good. I didn't know anything about that before leaving, but Maria, what about you?
I've been in Italy
doing
my Erasmus, and I think it's a very important weapon to young people to broaden our minds. I mean, I've been there for 6 months, but I learned a new language. I know 3 languages now, and I study journalism from another point of view. Like, Italian journalism is very, very different from Spanish, and I think it was very interesting for young people to study abroad.
Thank you, Maria. And Simone, what about you?
I also think that Erasmus is one of the best parts of being a part of the European Union, because you can meet new people, new cultures, and also we can connect ourselves like a really union. So I didn't make my Erasmus here in Europe. I go to Iberoamerica, to Mexico, and to USA. But all my colleagues that make their Erasmus in Europe love the experience.
And Mark, can you tell us something about Erasmus? But I also know that you have a very interesting project, right, going on right now?
Yes, the Erasmus project is super important, and I guess to support the young people and the youth of the EU. But yes, I'm here on behalf of the 25% project, and we're here to collect young people's voices and raise their voice and give them a chance to be heard. So the 25% project collects those ideas, and they're shared with the Council on the Future of Europe about how we can make Europe a better place for the young people and the 25% of the population.
So I'm very glad to hear this, because you guys are so informed about these opportunities. And actually, before taking part to these projects, I didn't know anything about these possibilities. So for those who are listening us now, I want to remember that, for example, Erasmus offers opportunity for people of all ages, as well as organization, and supports education, training, youth, and sport in general in Europe. So it's very interesting for me that this is the best way to be involved by the European Union.
And we've talked about information, but sometimes some opportunities that the European Union give us are not very well promoted or not very well known. So another way that the EU supports and involves its young citizens is throughout different awards. I don't know if you've ever heard about the Sharman Youth Prize in your life. No, I see some heads nodding. So, okay. The Sharman Youth Prize is a prize that is given to young people projects and young citizens projects, and it helps spreading the awareness of the European Union, and it is a monetary prize, and it's a very prestigious one. It's one of the most important prizes for young people in the EU. Actually, we at Europhonica, we won in the 2019 edition of the prize.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I thought it was a very important way to share this, because if many people know about that, maybe more projects can be promoted and known around through Europe, you know. So what about your projects? Are you thinking maybe of applying to some European funds on European awards?
Yes, my project with the 25%, we have multiple different partners. So we deal with national youth councils, so National Youth Council of Ireland, Cyprus, the Austrian Youth Council, Bulgarian, Spain, and also like other international youth organizations, Rural Youth Group and the European Youth Forum, including many other, the Erasmus Student Network, and also Eurodesk. And we're really here to have a say and collect those voices of the youth and bring those to the future of Europe.
So, Simone, what about your contribution to this type of projects?
Really, I didn't know your project, but I think it's so interesting. I think the problem maybe in Europe is we don't know a few projects that there are people doing, but because there are different countries and we don't change information between the old countries. But now we are here for a popular party convention, but I think the both projects are really interesting.
So we said that we're here at the European Youth event, and we really would like to know what are your insights on the experience. What are your feelings? How did you feel yesterday about queuing for a lot of hours? But if you managed to know some new people, I don't know, Maria, would you like to start?
Okay, that's fine. We are a lot of people here, but I'm very grateful to be here. So. Yes, we've been waiting yesterday for 2 hours to enter the parliament, but we have to be understanding because the COVID pandemic have just finished, and I think we are grateful to be here live. So I couldn't be more thankful for the European Parliament to go on with this kind of events.
So, for example, Mark, what do you think Europe could do better in the future for make these projects more for the inclusivity and the cooperation between countries?
Sure. I think it's important to work with youth councils and people who work directly with youth organizations, and people who have that direct connection with them. So making that point and connecting them, and having events like this, we get to talk to young people, we get to share our ideas. So having cooperation with us, with young people and with Europe, where we can share our ideas and share the projects that we're a part of, and have them take part in all of that process.
So we mentioned networks for a few times during this talk. So Simone, how are you trying to collect people together during these days, and how are you trying to create a network here? I mean, it's okay, we talk in queuing, we talk at the canteen or at the bar, or also at the concert yesterday.
Because the village.
Yeah, exactly. Because I is not just a place where to talk about Europe, but it's also a place of culture. So how are you managing that?
I think now we have a lot of opportunities to collect our networking, to talk with them. We have Facebook, we have WhatsApp, we have a lot of apps to talk with people. So I think, personally, I try to connect with my phone, with WhatsApp, and I talk with them about projects, with groups also, and I think that's the best idea to connect ourselves.
So, Diana, I think that's the time to do a little game, because I would like to ask you guys if there's a word that, in your opinion, could describe the Europe of the future, and also the way in which Europe approaches young people. So, the cooperation, the relationship between Europe and youth. I don't know, Maria, if you have an idea.
You have just talk about a word, and a word that crossed my mind when you say the little game is green in a sense of the climate change, because I think it's the topic that all young people are agree. I mean, and we need to act, and I think it's the kind of topic that we all want to do something, but the young people need to award them
it can be better, okay?
Yeah, and we have to tell all the people in European Parliament, in our governments, in our countries, to do something.
Okay. Okay, so we're at the end of our talk, and I think now it's time for music. I thank you all, and we're gonna listen Madame with Voce.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Stehen Sie kurz vor dem Abschluss in einer der Universitäten der Europäischen Union? Geht Ihre Abschlussarbeit um Universitätsgesellschaftsmedienkommunikation? RadUni hat einen Abschlusspreis in Erinnerung an Antonio Megalizzi und Bartosz Nizielski gerufen. Alle Informationen und den Teilnahmeantrag, die in 24 Sprachen vom Audio- und Podcast-Unit des Europäischen Parlaments zur Verfügung gestellt wurde, finden Sie auf der bestimmten Seite unserer Website www.raduni.org.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the A Radio. This is Giovanna, and I am here with Marta.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marta from Europhonica Italia. We are broadcasting from the radio studios of the European Parliament in Strasbourg, and together with us, sitting in front of the microphones, there are 3 guests. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, great. I'm happy to be here with you today.
Hello. I'm also very happy to be here.
Hi, I'm fine. I'm so excited to be here.
Why you are here and where do you come from?
My name is Ignacy and I'm from Poland. I study business and economics in Warsaw, and I'm a member of European Youth Parliament of Poland.
Oh.
Hello, my name is Laurens, and I'm from the organization European Anti-Poverty Network, and we came here with a lot of young people who are in a vulnerable poverty situation.
So nice.
Yeah.
I'm Silvia. I'm from Italy, and I'm here for European Youth Event with my association.
Okay.
We know that.
I know you know that.
So guys, as you know, the objective of the event is to put young EU citizens at the center, giving them voice and even space, to build the future of Europe. And in the last 2 hours, our radio speakers and guests have made eyes sound heard, and many subjects have been discussed like gender equality or even poverty, sport, job opportunities, and more. And all these themes, which are crucial in the I-2021 event, share a common development intent, which aims the EU agenda. But the EU is not the only actor in developing sustainable strategies. Indeed, the UN and our union share common goals and objectives.
That's true. In fact, on the UN side, there is a provocation that you can see over there, but we are in a radio, so I can't tell you what is it. It's the Lazy Person's Guide to Save the World. It was a joke, but yeah, it's that one. It was a joke about all the things that we can do to save the world, but we are not doing. Maybe because we are lazy. That's the reason why the UN is promoting the Agenda 2030, 17 goals to reach sustainable development. The core of the program are the so-called 5 Ps. People, prosperity, peace, partnership, and planet. So, I think that is a little bit difficult for us to...
Yeah, it looks like a big issue. Yeah. But the actions of everyone, even in daily life, are fundamental in achieving these goals. So let's discover together playing this game present on the UN website.
The name of the game is Go Goals, and you can see it is this one. It's very nice.
Ooh.
And it's very colored, but we can see it, not only because we are in a radio, but because...
because it's in black and white.
Black and white. The name is Go Goals, and the game aims to teach children around the world about the Sustainable Development Goals in a simple and child-friendly way. But, of course, it's not only for children. We can play all together to better develop our awareness and chill out. we can't play the game right now. We are in a studio, but on the UN site there are all the instructions, dices, tokens, and so on. Here we are in a radio studio and we can use our imagination. So, if you agree, let's start the game.
Yeah, like choose one of the points, the most relevant according to you.
Yeah, these are the points of the Agenda 2030, and these are very, very important for us just to understand how much we can do in our normal life, day by day. So let's choose just one point, one goal, and let's speak about why it's important for you and what can you do in this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the most important goals, in my opinion, is quality education. Because the education is extremely important, obviously, but is changing. It's changing in time. It's changing according to generation.
Yeah, people are changing.
People are changing, and young generation have different priority respect our parents, for example, but our generation too. I'm 25 and I have a cousin that is 12 and we are so different as well. So I think that quality education maybe is one of the most important points of the Agenda 2030.
Yeah, their 12 years old is not our 12 years old, actually. So it's a little bit, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
We have to work on it. What do you think about it?
I think education gives a lot of possibilities, except also with poverty to rise above. To rise above when you're in a poverty situation. That you can still keep on growing, keep on becoming better, and finding work is better opportunities.
Yeah, because education helps in building bridges and contributing to develop maybe the future we believe in. So
this is Marta's favorite point, actually.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it really is. And what about you?
I do agree with you in a point of education that's important, and looking through recent events of COVID, I believe that there is a huge lack in education, but for me personally, the important point is good health and well-being, because that's something which we're lacking. Focusing all efforts to fight COVID made us missing important part of mental health and general situation of young and not only people in Europe and the whole world.
And what would you suggest in developing these points?
I believe that we should transform this focus on wider perspective, which should also put a more effort on the mental health.
What do you think you can do in this day by day, in this point, in this goal?
I believe, as a member of youth, as all of us here, we can persuade to share the information, that knowledge that this is important to be aware of the problem. That's the very beginning to be awareness, and after it we could share the solution, try to discuss, find, because it's not so easy that you get just some pain which you go to doctor, gives you some medicine and you're healthy. It's some deeper, which includes also the whole society to work together to debate, discuss and find the best solution. So I believe that discussion and improving the awareness, that's first what we can do today.
Yeah, you're right. To grow together.
Yeah, this is really a good point. Thank you. For me, my best point, my favorite goal is the clean energy. I really believe in clean energy. I am using technologies all the time phone, all the time charging phones. So I am trying to buy chargers that are charged by sunlight. And I'm trying to spend my time, in technology is very important, but also my energy and solar energy in the best way I can, to don't have so much energy waste, to don't don't feel so guilty, because I'm feeling so guilty about our planet and about all the situation. And so for me, this is the point, and I think that I will work on this goal, even if really there are a lot of goals that we have to reach, that we have to achieve. And it's so important that everybody are focused on different goals, on different points, even if education, yes, we are, everybody.
Education is important.
It's important. Even for the other points, very important.
Yeah, every point of the agenda is important, but now we talk about just one, but there are a lot, and every point is really important, guys, for real.
I hope that these goals are not only imagination, are not only good words. That's the point. That's the only problem for me. I really need to be focused on them and to have something really concrete to understand what to do to achieve all these goals. So
yeah, we as an organization, we have achieved also with lobbying at the European Parliament to sign the European Social Pillar. That's the basic rights of every European, and now it's signed by every country, but it's not like a law, so you can't keep it. It's like a guideline, but we are now pointing this out to the people, and there are basic rights in the social pillar, like quality education, but also like homeless people that need shelter, but people with disabilities that they can achieve extra guiding, and that's like a basic right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys, for having shared with us and your experience with us, but even with all the EU citizens who are listening to our radio from different countries of the Union. Now, let's try to jump out of the game and let's use these simple tricks in our daily life all together.
Yeah, it's very important. So I am thanking you, and I am thanking also all the university radios that had participate at this radio podcasting, radio live from the studios of Megalizzi or Antentyk in the European Parliament in Strasbourg. So thank you. Thank you to everybody.
From the Parliament, that's all.
That's all. And now we can listen music and listen Maneskin, Zitti e Buoni.
Thank you, guys. You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
¿Vas a graduarte en una universidad de la Unión Europea y tu tesis de grado tendrá como objeto el tema de la radio y/o de los medios de comunicación universitarios y de comunidad? RadUni ha instituido un premio de graduación en memoria de Antonio Megalizzi y Bartosz Niedzielski. Puedes encontrar cualquier información y el anuncio de participación traducido en 24 idiomas gracias a la cooperación con el canal audio del Parlamento Europeo en el sitio www.raduni.org.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Eccoci qua, siamo al Parlamento Europeo di Strasburgo e finalmente possiamo dire che parliamo in italiano dopo 3 ore di diretta in cui abbiamo parlato in inglese. Fa strano, probabilmente usciranno anche delle parole in inglese. Io sono Silvia e con me a fare da host, appunto per le parole in inglese, c'è Francesca.
Ciao a tutti, finalmente posso parlare in italiano, sono nella mia comfort zone adesso, perché ho un po' di difficoltà con l'inglese, quindi adesso mi sento un po' più a mio agio, diciamo così.
Sì, siamo tornati alle origini, però una cosa in comune con gli altri talk c'è. Infatti abbiamo anche noi degli ospiti che per l'Associazione RadUni sono anche molto speciali, perché loro fanno parte della Fondazione Megalizzi. Presentatevi pure, ragazzi, ciao, benvenuti.
Ciao, sono Francesco, ho 26 anni e per la Fondazione Megalizzi mi occuperò di entrare nelle scuole superiori.
Ciao, io mi chiamo Irina, ho 23 anni e anche io sono l'ambasciatrice della fondazione. Io mi occuperò delle scuole medie e andrò nelle seconde e nelle terze appunto a mandare e trasportare il messaggio di Antonio.
Ecco, io per iniziare, no, magari chi ci sta ascoltando non è molto ferrato sull'argomento, direi di raccontare un po' come avete conosciuto la fondazione e cosa vi spinge oggi a continuare a cercare di diffondere anche l'obiettivo che era di Antonio, farlo un po' vostro e cercare appunto di diffonderlo ai ragazzi giovani.
Va bene, inizio io. Io ho conosciuto la fondazione in realtà un po' per caso. Una mia amica mi ha parlato di questo progetto e ho deciso appunto di far domanda. Il motivo in realtà è stato perché io originariamente sono ucraina, quindi per me i valori dell'Unione Europea sono sempre stati, diciamo, un qualcosa di molto importante per cui ho combattuto, e da ottobre ovviamente sono diventata anch'io fortunatamente una cittadina italiana, e quindi la possibilità di andare nelle scuole e soprattutto di portare avanti l'idea di Antonio, parlare dell'Europa in modo costruttivo, è un qualcosa che sento mio.
No, io diciamo per ripagare un ragazzo del Movimento dei Giovani Federalisti Europei che tanti anni fa, quando era a scuola, qualche anno fa dai, quando io ero a scuola venne a parlarci di Europa e fu di super ispirazione per me, e da lì ha cambiato completamente il percorso che avevo in mente e ho iniziato a interessarmi del discorso europeo, di cosa anche l'Europa può fare fuori dai propri confini, soprattutto perché per non rimanere in un discorso autoreferenziale, per parlare soltanto di Europa dentro l'Europa ma anche Europa fuori dall'Europa, e da lì appunto ho sentito il bisogno di andare avanti, e poi ho trovato, forse per caso, forse per coincidenze, che percorsi che hanno iniziato a incontrarsi, la Fondazione Megalizzi, e diciamo che il discorso di Antonio era per noi assolutamente condivisibile e importante, soprattutto continuare a dargli voce, e quindi è un buon momento per condividere con i ragazzi che magari sono stati anche un attimo scostati dal messaggio europeo, comunque non hanno avuto la possibilità, come abbiamo fatto noi prima, di visitare le istituzioni, di incontrare ragazzi stranieri e mettersi a confronto. Allora noi portare magari la voce di Antonio nelle scuole e diffondere il messaggio.
E qual è la vostra percezione? Cioè, come viene vissuta dai ragazzi quello che voi raccontate, il messaggio che voi portate?
Allora, ancora dobbiamo entrare fisicamente nelle scuole, non è iniziato ancora il programma. Io la vivo con abbastanza ansia perché comunque è una sfida per noi, perché ci troveremo davanti, io mi occuperò delle scuole superiori, quindi ragazzi che magari hanno già almeno un minimo di formazione e già magari o un'idea politica o comunque una visione di quello che vuol dire essere cittadini europei e di che cos'è l'Unione Europea. Però è una sfida emozionante, ecco, c'è quell'adrenalina di vedere cosa succederà, comunque sarà produttiva, anche magari trovandosi davanti persone che o non hanno idea di cosa voglia dire essere cittadini attivi o comunque far parte dell'Unione, o persone che hanno una visione diversa dalla nostra, quindi sarà un dibattito, non saranno assolutamente lezioni, non ci vogliamo proporre come insegnanti.
Sono assolutamente d'accordo, io andrò nelle medie, quindi anche per me è abbastanza una sfida, perché immagino che magari i ragazzi all'età di 11 o 12 anni non sanno ancora bene che cosa sia l'Unione Europea, magari devono semplicemente fare delle lezioni e quindi la vedono semplicemente come un qualcosa che bisogna studiare e può rappresentare anche un peso, quindi andare e ovviamente pormi come semplicemente una sorella maggiore che gli può, diciamo, dimostrare, far vedere effettivamente tutte le qualità positive che può avere e farli magari anche divertire facendogli scoprire l'Unione Europea, rappresenta comunque una sfida.
Ecco, vedi, adesso questa cosa che tu hai detto mi ha fatto un po' pensare al fatto che effettivamente, soprattutto in questo periodo che stiamo vivendo di pandemia in cui siamo stati distanti, no? Essere qui oggi è una grande fortuna, perché toccare con mano quello che è l'Unione Europea e anche questi incontri, questi dibattiti ci permettono di forse avvicinarci ancora di più al messaggio di Antonio, ma in generale più a quello che è l'Europa e a cosa si può fare effettivamente collaborando e lavorando insieme.
Ma infatti uno degli altri scopi è proprio anche far capire ai ragazzi che l'Unione Europea è vicino e che comunque abbiamo sempre la possibilità di ok, attualmente a causa della situazione ovviamente pandemica magari non è possibile, però abbiamo la possibilità di vedere le istituzioni da vicino, di toccarle e capire effettivamente dall'interno come funziona, ed è questo che vogliamo anche farvi vedere.
Tra l'altro questa è un'occasione ottima perché AI è un evento organizzato per i giovani europei, per cui per quelli più esperti ma anche per quelli che magari sono un pochettino più profani, quindi vengono qua e scoprono tutto quello che devono scoprire, tra cui anche noi. Io per esempio faccio parte di RadUni molto attivamente, ma non faccio parte di Europhonica, quindi io sono una profana nel gruppo. La cosa che mi fa molto piacere, che mi è venuta in mente sentendovi parlare, è il fatto che il messaggio di Antonio comunque si diffonde sempre e in maniera sempre diversa. Voi lo diffondete da ambasciatori e noi lo diffondiamo in quanto radio, e questa cosa è una cosa bellissima, è un flusso che non si ferma mai. Ma ritornando ai giorni nostri, raccontatemi il vostro AI, come sta andando?
Allora, siamo appena venuti via da un question and answer molto molto bello con il vincitore del premio Sakharov 2018, Oleg Sentsov. E per noi che siamo molto sensibili al discorso Ucraina e Russia è stato veramente veramente emozionante, perché ti trovi davanti non soltanto il giornalista, l'attivista, ma l'eroe che prende forma, perché il suo cioè lui è davvero il suo messaggio, ha una passatemi la parola freddezza o comunque una stabilità nelle sue emozioni che a tratti ti rassicura, a tratti ti spiazza completamente, perché sto tremando parlandone, perché è stato veramente bello. Ogni tanto ci guardavamo e piangevamo per quanto riuscisse a trasmetterci la difficoltà nell'essere un attivista comunque in Ucraina.
Lo capisco perfettamente perché io mi sono trovata a quella plenaria.
Ecco.
Io l'unica plenaria che ho seguito è stata quella del Sakharov, e io la freddezza di cui tu parli me la ricordo come se ce l'avessi davanti in questo momento, come se fosse ieri. Quindi assolutamente capisco quello che avete provato avendo davanti una persona del genere.
Sì, poi soprattutto io sono ucraina, quindi ho rivisto molto di tutto ciò che ha spiegato e assolutamente lo sostengo, e soprattutto questo evento in generale per me è una grandissima opportunità. Io non sono ad esempio mai stata da vicino alle istituzioni, quindi vedere per la prima volta com'è il Parlamento all'interno, incontrare persone che vi lavorano è veramente molto bello.
Sai qual è stata la cosa più bella forse, a parte il dibattito, le risposte alle nostre domande, il fatto che lui in conclusione ci ha ringraziati per come lo guardavamo, il fatto che mentre parlavamo comunque, cioè lui a un certo livello e noi a tutto l'altro livello, comunque ci stava guardando e stava cercando qualcosa nei nostri occhi, anche per chi non gli ha fatto domande, anche per chi semplicemente l'ha ascoltato. E quindi quando capisci che lui non soltanto sta lavorando, ma sta anche cercando risposte comunque negli altri, è stato veramente spiazzante in positivo.
Beh, anche molto toccante, si capisce chiaramente da come ne parli. Tra l'altro è anche la prima volta di Francesca al Parlamento Europeo di Strasburgo, se non ricordo male. Esatto, quindi è una bella esperienza, si può fare.
In realtà io sono stata a Bruxelles e sono stata al Parlamento, però come turista, no? Quindi fai la guida, fai la visita, e qui a Strasburgo ho respirato un'aria diversa, forse perché comunque anche il periodo in cui sono venuta, cioè sono cresciuta nel mentre, no? Quindi ovviamente guardi le cose con un altro occhio. Poi l'evento che coinvolge i giovani europei è un evento importante e ci permette di confrontarci, di discutere anche con gli altri su varie tematiche, quindi è stato veramente molto bello. La mia prima volta a Strasburgo, sono super contenta di questa esperienza, poi qui in radio, che è una cosa che io amo. Quindi...
questi studi sono particolarmente speciali, particolarmente belli. Infatti quello che io ho detto a tutti coloro che sono venuti in radio: guardate questa roba, trattatela bene, usatela con cura, perché è la roba più bella che vedrete finora. Ora siamo in chiusura, io voglio ricordare due cose. Innanzitutto di andare sul sito di Fondazione Megalizzi per essere sempre al corrente di quello che fanno, di quello che organizzano, dei loro eventi e soprattutto dei svariati premi che vincono. Quindi
esatto, proprio io volevo anche ricordare una cosa molto velocemente, che il 30 ottobre fino al 30 ottobre 2021 è possibile, andando sul sito della Fondazione Megalizzi, candidarsi per ricevere il premio di laurea. Ovviamente per tutte le informazioni più dettagliate basta andare sul sito, lo trovate molto comodamente andando su Google. E anche ovviamente di continuare a seguire i nostri canali social e tutto quello che ovviamente RadUni, Europhonica, RadUni Musica, RadUni Cinema e RadUni Sport fanno per per insomma la musica e i vari contenuti, ecco.
Esatto, io vi ringrazio di essere stati con noi,
Grazie
ci rivedremo sicuramente presto. Ora noi chiudiamo la diretta di Raduni. Ciao a tutti e grazie per essere stati con noi.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
Are you graduating from one of the European Union universities with a thesis regarding college and university radio, and or more in general, college, university or community media? RadUni has established a degree award in memory of Antonio Megalizzi and Bartosz Rennezielski. All the information and the call for participation available in 24 languages thanks to our collaboration with the audio and podcast unit of the European Parliament are online at www.raduni.org at the dedicated section.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021.
E siamo pronti, siamo arrivati al momento dei saluti, siamo ancora qui in diretta dagli studi del Parlamento Europeo di Strasburgo dedicati ad Antonio Megalizzi e Bartosz Rennezielski. Ho il piacere di avere con me degli amici, io sono Marco Napoleoni, ho avuto la fortuna di introdurre questo programma 3 ore e mezza fa, si sono alternati qui più di 26 speaker provenienti dalle radio universitarie italiane e abbiamo anche avuto il piacere di avere tantissimi ospiti, quindi siamo molto felici di poter chiudere questa diretta. Io sono in compagnia del vicepresidente Davide Farinetti.
Hi everyone, a little bit of English now. I think that this Spanglish français c'est bon pour notre live show on air avec Alice Plata de Europhonica.
Benvenuti a tutti l'ami. Grazie a tutti, abbiamo cambiato lingua anche noi, io e il Presidente ci sentiamo un po' più a nostro agio in italiano, ma penso che il Presidente saluti anche in portoghese, quindi anche per gli amici del Portogallo.
Ma se vuoi io posso salutare tutti anche in spagnolo, prima però permettimi di presentare il nostro ospite, il nostro amico e collega e soprattutto uno dei grandi professionisti che qui ci sostengono e che ormai insomma sono sempre in nostra compagnia e ci aiutano ad andare in diretta e seguono la parte tecnica di quella che è stata questa diretta di Europhonica, che lo ricordiamo è la radio ufficiale dello European Youth Parliament. E se tutto questo è possibile grazie anche a Bertrand, buongiorno e grazie ancora.
Bonjour. Bertrand, tu peux dire-nous comment how it works the radio here in the European Parliament, because we create radio with Europhonica since 2014, and with the help of your and colleagues in your help, Europhonica here is possible, all the radio is possible. How it works?
It works, it is a public service, and we invite all the radio stations to come here and to benefit from our audio facilities. It means that you can have a live connection, you can have recording, you can train yourself to speak, you can do a lot of things. We also produce some jingles, some music, some atmosphere. You can benefit from Strasbourg.
How many years you are here?
I started in the European Parliament in 1993.
Oh,
that's a long time ago, yeah.
It's very, very nice. And Alice is one of the first person of RadUni that came here in 2014. And Alice, can you tell us your experience, the first recorder of your experience here in the Parliament, in the studio, in the radio?
My first experience was not with the radio studio, but with the Voxbox live on the first floor. It's another kind of studio, an open-air studio, and we broadcast audio and visual too. But in the next part of our project, we started to broadcast from the studio directly. e infatti un'esperienza totalmente diversa quella di fare la nostra radio da uno spazio aperto dove le persone ti camminano alle spalle, grazie all'aiuto dei fantastici tecnici si mantiene la concentrazione, ma è un altro ambiente, è un altro genere di attività e soprattutto si sa di avere una telecamera puntata sul volto. Invece nei nostri studi radio interni abbiamo sempre sentito di essere a casa, e dopo questa dedica molto speciale, soprattutto dovuta ai nostri colleghi Anto e Bart, questa è davvero la casa che io abito per tutta Europhonica, per RadUni, una volta al mese. Siamo contenti di essere tornati dopo la pandemia proprio per ritornare in questi studi e ritornare alla compagnia dei nostri amici tecnici, che ringraziamo di questo grande lavoro finora svolto per la nostra bellissima maratona, ma non solo, anche tutti gli altri lavoratori del Parlamento Europeo che hanno permesso lo Youth Event, e soprattutto ringraziamo tutta la parte audiovisual che ci permette, la sezione Voxbox, che ci permette di fare tanti contenuti. Infatti mentre voi ascoltavate la nostra diretta, il Presidente ha anche partecipato a un video recording. Vi lascio un po' di suspense per scoprire che messaggio importantissimo ci avrà lasciato.
No, la cosa veramente importante secondo me è che qui ci viene data poi la possibilità di parlare anche qui in questo talk, che penso rappresenti un po' tutto questo. Si parla un po' in italiano, un po' in inglese, qui fuori prima si parlava in spagnolo, in portoghese. Abbiamo iniziato la nostra trasmissione parlando di inclusione, abbiamo qui la possibilità di avere dei tecnici che comunque ci fanno sentire a nostro agio e ci permettono di trasmettere in totale libertà, anche grazie insomma al Parlamento Europeo che ci ospita praticamente ormai più di una volta al mese, quasi una volta a settimana, quindi è vero che ci sentiamo anche a casa, ci sentiamo liberi di esprimerci anche nelle nostre difficoltà e differenze linguistiche, quindi il senso di inclusione col quale abbiamo iniziato secondo me è quel sentimento che può permetterci anche di chiudere queste 3 ore e mezza ormai quasi insieme.
E la radio è la rappresentazione ideale del motto dell'Europa: uniti nella diversità, le nostre voci si uniscono in questi studi, a volte anche da più lontano, perché possiamo fare dei bellissimi collegamenti, e quindi noi vogliamo ringraziare quelli che non solo oggi, ma normalmente in questi 6 anni di attività ci hanno supportato sempre, quotidianamente, col sorriso in faccia, e soprattutto ci hanno anche insegnato tantissimo.
Merci beaucoup à Bertrand Vigier pour tout le support à le studio radiophonique, le studio 3, parce que we have recorded other content that you will listen to Europhonica and RadUni Spotify and platforms for the podcasting, because the other studios are very important for the recording. We are now from Studio One live, but with your help we have done a lot of things. We also thank Philippe Herman for all the
our
grazie
Philippe.
Grazie Philippe for everything, per la regia. Ha coadiuvato in aiuto da Martina Esposito nella parte di jingle palette, che ringraziamo, e ringraziamo tutte le persone di RadUni che si sono dedicate al monitoraggio della diretta, delle foto.
Francesco per il guardaroba,
ma soprattutto Martina Ottaviano e Martina Garziera per tutta la parte fotografica di gestione. Ringraziamo anche l'alto tecnico thank to Bertrand Collot for the support, and also for the coordination Ernst Uberlacher. So we have this is like our home, è come se fosse la nostra casa, come se fosse la nostra radio in più di tutte le radio universitarie, e visto che noi abbiamo un grande circuito con oltre 30 radio universitarie connesse e abbiamo soprattutto questo studio, è bello potersi ritrovare una volta all'anno tutti insieme in tanti qui, ma si riprenderà dal mese di ottobre, già adesso comunque, con le plenarie, e quindi si ritornerà in questo studio.
I love the radio. J'aime la radio.
Man, you're fantastic. Both of you.
Sentite che siamo veramente accalorati, siamo veramente uniti in questa nostra discussione, perché è proprio il talk finale che ci permette un po' di sorridere, di rilassarci, ma anche di ringraziare tutti i nostri colleghi. Siamo arrivati qui con un gruppo di speaker, alcuni rodatissimi, altri un po' più spaventati, e diciamo che ne siamo usciti con un'esperienza fantastica per tutti, ma non solo per noi, anche per gli amici del Parlamento Europeo e dello European Youth Event, che hanno potuto godere e partecipare alla nostra attività e provare un po' le brezze della radio.
Personalmente do un ringraziamento a tutti i partecipanti che sono stati qui, a tutta la redazione di Europhonica per il grande lavoro svolto negli ultimi 2 anni, perché è un evento che doveva esserci l'anno scorso. Un ringraziamento speciale anche al responsabile uscente di Europhonica, Francesco Saverio della Monica, in arte Zawa, per tutto il lavoro che ha fatto per Europhonica negli ultimi anni. Non è stato qui con noi in questa esperienza, ma se siamo arrivati qui è anche soprattutto merito suo, e diciamo che ringrazio anche per tutto il supporto nella gestione Alice Plata come responsabile PR di Europhonica, e il nostro ministro degli esteri che non riesco a vedere, però la ringraziamo.
È appena arrivata perché ha sentito che noi la stavamo per ringraziare e quindi ci teneva a guardarci mentre la ringraziavamo.
Ma noi non vediamo niente perché siamo in radio, quindi state sbagliando un punto focale di questa cosa, e quindi non vediamo chi c'è, ma le voci dietro alle nostre radio, alle radio RadUni, ad Europhonica e a tutti i format di RadUni, che ringraziamo, perché non solo la redazione di Europhonica ma anche la redazione di Cineuni, RadUni Musica e RadUni Sport sono un cuore che batte per alimentare la nostra associazione. Noi vogliamo invitarvi tutti a venire a trovarci nelle radio universitarie italiane, negli studi del Parlamento Europeo, e soprattutto aderendo alla call to action per entrare nelle redazioni dei format condivisi. Quindi andate a visitare il nostro sito www.raduni.org per trovare tutte le informazioni su questa bellissima opportunità che vi può portare a conoscere e sperimentare e provare la radio universitaria, la radio con i nostri format tematici. E per chi invece si è laureato con un contenuto, con una tesi che trattava di attività radiofoniche o di contenuti di questo tipo, si vuole anche ricordare il premio Antonio dedicato ad Antonio Bartek per la tesi di laurea.
Sì, tutto giusto, tutto preciso, siamo in chiusura. Io ci tenevo insomma ad invitarvi di nuovo a venire qui da questa parte del microfono, a raggiungerci e a partecipare, come ha detto benissimo Alice, alle redazioni, per poter provare le stesse emozioni che tanti ragazzi che abbiamo portato qui per la prima volta hanno avuto la fortuna di vivere oggi. Io ringrazio ancora voi che siete stati qui al tavolo con me, merci e
obrigado.
Gracias, e possiamo salutare in tutte le lingue, però intanto io saluto tutti ed insomma auguro a tutti una buona stagione radiofonica con le radio universitarie ma anche con le nostre redazioni. Grazie e buona stagione radiofonica a tutti. Grazie.
You're now listening to Europhonica from the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the official radio of the European Youth Event 2021. The Europhonica live broadcast from the European Parliament in Strasbourg during the European Youth Event 2021 ends here.
We are happy we have been aired from the Megalizzi or Antentyk studios as official radio of the I 2021. We thank all the young participants from all over Europe who have joined us for this unmissable live show.
Europhonica will continue to tell you about the I 2021 and about all the news from Europe.
So stay tuned on our channels. Check out our website www.raduni.org and our Instagram, Twitter and Facebook Europhonica accounts.